Right now, progress is being made on a multi-million-dollar project to make streets in Old Louisville safer.
Yeah, it's going to convert these streets, 2nd and 3rd between Broadway and the University of Louisville campus, West Cardinal Boulevard specifically, from one-way to two-way. WHAS11's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie were at a meeting last night where people who lived in the area learned how it'll work.
You're looking at 2nd and Broadway in downtown Louisville, where the two-way street turns into a one-way road heading south. 2nd and 3rd streets will soon go from one-way streets to two-way.
This is kind of the kickoff. We are awaiting our final letter from FHWA, but we have been awarded the grant, and we're excited to get started.
The $12.5 million project is a partnership between Louisville Public Works and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Director Jennifer Commissar-Kern addressed the Old Louisville Neighborhood Council, emphasizing one of the main reasons for this project is safety.
One-way streets, multi-lane one-way streets, are disproportionately less safe than two-way streets.
Converting one-way roads into two ways is just one safety strategy that's used to achieve the city's mission of 0 roadway deaths by 2050. From this busy intersection where South 3rd Street meets West Broadway to where South 2nd Street and Cardinal Boulevard meet, along with the conversion to two-way streets, will have enhanced crosswalk visibility, dedicated left turn lanes, and bike lanes. But a concern for some Old Louisville residents is the timeline. Construction on the project isn't expected to start until 2027.
It's going to be great. So what can we do as the public to help as citizens to push this forward faster?
Another concern is potential backup in the neighborhoods. Alex Dieterer, WHAS 11 on your side.
And another conversion project will turn Logan and Shelby streets from one-way to two-way between Goss Avenue and East Gray Street downtown. Construction on that is supposed to wrap up by this summer.
The man at the center of the investigation the night Breonna Taylor was killed is expected back in court today. Demarcus Glover faced a judge yesterday on outstanding charges after missing his original court date in October and going on the run. He's accused of using children to help transport and sell heroin. The judge raised his bond from $100,000 to $250,000. Today, Glover is expected back in court to face new charges. During his arrest earlier this week by U.S. Marshals, officers found large amounts of suspected meth, fentanyl, and ammunition. He's due in court at 9 this morning.
This morning, we're hearing from people directly impacted by the Old National Bank shooting. Family members of two of the executives who were killed stood alongside attorneys as they announced a lawsuit against the gun store that sold the weapon used by the gunman.
The trauma of that day is still fresh in our minds, and the pain remains. My goal, or purpose driven by the pain, is to take action to prevent this from ever happening to another family again.
Karen Tutt lost her husband Jim in the shooting last April. Her family and the family of Joshua Barrick and several survivors are suing River City Firearms. The store on Preston Highway sold an AR-15 to the gunman just days before the shooting. Their lawsuit claims there were warning signs the business should have noticed. According to the suit, a witness at the store said she saw an employee showing the shooter how to perform basic functions like how to load it, how to hold it, and how to use its various features.
Someone in the gun store said the shooter appeared uneasy, avoided eye contact, and demonstrated a complete lack of knowledge about guns. The shooter allegedly told River City employees that he wanted to purchase an AR-15 for self-defense.
The store owner declined a request for an interview.
Law enforcement and prosecutors are launching a new initiative they hope will reduce gun violence by targeting repeat violent offenders. It was announced yesterday. It's called the Prohibited Firearms Possessors Initiative, or PFP. It consists of meetings between prosecutors, LMPD, and the Louisville ATF. So while these groups do already work together, they'll now meet earlier in the legal process to share evidence to see how a suspect could potentially be connected to other crimes.
Well, a lot of times that doesn't come into fruition until much further down the road. We're already past grand jury hearings. We're already past, pleas being offered and things like that before they're getting the full picture.
The agencies have already identified and reviewed 4 cases to test and examine the process. They'll meet monthly.
Search and rescue crews in Indiana have recovered the body of the man who went missing after a house exploded in French Lick. They say 66-year-old David Baker was found under a mountain of debris in the basement of a home.
The debris field is pretty massive in scope and scale. It does look like a tornado up there. There are things that are 30 feet in the trees. There are things that are 50 to 100 yards away from the main structure of the house.
Family members say Baker was making dinner when that blast happened. Authorities with Homeland Security believe it was a propane explosion that leveled the house, but they know it'll take more time to confirm an official cause.